just thinking about the people that United Way serves, right? Just looking at the millions of dollars that United Way of King County is pouring back into the community, on the thousands of people that they're helping throughout all their initiatives. I think that is what we wanted to reflect in this mural. And I think that's what we pulled off for sure.
This is Hourglass, the podcast for United Way of King County in Seattle. Perhaps you've seen the outdoor and indoor murals that recently went up at United Way's 2nd Avenue office. For this week's episode, we'll tell the story behind those murals. We sat down with murals artists Teddy Phillips and Maya Milton, as well as Alexandra Nason of Urban Artworks, the organization that partnered with United Way for the project, and Taylor Roberson, United Way's Associate Director of Marketing, who led the project. We will also spotlight our free summer meals program and our community partnership kit offerings. I'm your host, Joe Burris. Thanks for tuning in. If you're in downtown Seattle at the corner of 2nd Avenue and Columbia Street, be sure to look up at the side of United Way of King County's building facing Columbia. There you will see United Way's new addition to the hundreds of colorful murals beautifying downtown's public spaces. The 18 feet by 20 feet work of art features a celebration of 4 people from different backgrounds that reflect the communities we serve and our commitment to ensuring we work side by side with our neighbors to create an equitable future. It is one of 2 murals that United Way installed at our offices this month. The other is an interior rendering of 6 people of all ages, races, backgrounds, and genders behind colorful plants and a rising sun. United Way has often used its interior and exterior spaces as well as outdoor media to describe and promote our programs. This time, we've done artwork that is consistent with the vibrant pieces you see adorning spaces everywhere from West Seattle to Ballard to the Central District, while at the same time amplifying our brand identity with our fonts and colors. Our murals are adjacent to downtown Seattle's Art Walk, which are community-driven events spotlighting local artists and merchants in neighborhoods across our city. We hope our neighbors see themselves in our renderings. The mural projects were done in partnership with Urban Artworks, a Seattle-based nonprofit that has engaged youth, artists, and communities in the creation of public art for more than 30 years. For the outdoor mural, Urban Artworks enlisted Teddy Phillips, a Seattle-based artist from Montgomery, Alabama, who said he draws inspiration from people like his grandfather who participated in the Civil Rights Movement. Stat has crafted portraits of Martin Luther King, Kobe Bryant, and Nipsey Hussle, and following the murder of George Floyd, he crafted paintings portraying victims of police brutality. For the indoor mural, Urban Artworks went with Maya Milton, a Seattle-born and raised artist who says her work is inspired by Afrofuturism and pop art and is a celebration of Black womanhood. Maya's art has been recognized by organizations such as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and she was a 2020 Nettie at Cornish finalist. Hourglass recently discussed the murals with Stat, Maya, Urban Artworks Project Director Alexandra Nason, and United Way Associate Director of Marketing Taylor Roberson, who led the project. We begin our discussion with Alexandra, who spoke about how the mural project partnership with United Way began.
United Way approached Urban Artworks, and we were so excited about the opportunity to partner. Our missions are very aligned, and it was just, we were really excited to work together. So that's kind of what kicked the process off. And then we were so fortunate to get to work with these 2 wonderful artists. And so I'll, on an interior mural with Maya, an exterior mural with Stat. So I will hand it over.
Yeah, I think that I was really happy to accept this because it aligned with my values as an artist. So, yeah.
What are your values as an artist?
Extensive. I believe in diversity, community, showing up and out for the community, and unity, things like that, really. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, for me, anytime Urban Artworks comes calling, then, you have to answer for sure. it was a cool value because my mom, like, she participates in United Way and just seeing the impact on the community and everything. So it was like a natural calling. It was a great fit. And a lot of my work is centered around like Black community empowerment and uplifting people and making people feel seen. So anytime you get a chance to take the values of United Way of King County and Urban Artworks and get to translate those visual externally for public art, like, I'm always down.
So tell me, what does your mom do for United Way King County?
She donates and she volunteers.
Okay.
So, the biggest thing is with the tax preparation. So, and I noticed that King County, well, shout out to y'all, United Way King County donated like $20 million back into the community like last year. So that was pretty cool. So, that was a cool, dope connection that I was able to connect with. So it was pretty cool.
Awesome. Talk about the lifespan of this mural, and what will you do to make sure that it does withstand the elements? How long do murals typically withstand the elements?
Yeah, every mural is different, and it depends on where it is and what it's made of. In this case, for a number of reasons, we explored a variety of different approaches for this one, and I won't get into it, but it ended up being that printing it on an adhesive vinyl on the exterior would be the best route. So murals can be up for, I think our goal is to have this up for at least a couple years. It should last well beyond that. And if treated with care and respect, murals can last, decades, like really. So, but of course we will be very attentive to ensuring that the integrity of the mural is maintained.
And when did you begin this process?
I'll speak to that one a little bit because I just love hearing both Maya and Staff's response to why they accepted the project. We started it back in November of 2025. And that's when we were kind of thinking about the idea and the concept, what we wanted to do. We wanted to reflect our United Way of King County new branding with the bright colors and the mission of being united. United is the way, united we rise. And we wanted people to feel something when they looked in the mirror, to feel hope. After all, we've been the work we do to create equity through education, financial stability, housing is tough, but we're still here doing this work. Hope doesn't quit, neither do we. So that was kind of the assignment that we gave both artists. And we wanted people to feel something and not just be a billboard that you see, because we do have other advertisements going around. So that's what led us to approach Urban Artworks, to show our mission, to show we're here in the community, to reflect our work. And I was so thrilled when the artist took it on. And we were kind of vague on purpose. United is the way, united is the way we rise. What can you do with it? And what's so fun is that the artists, I think they're just now meeting today, right? But both took an approach of people and how we help people in our community of all ages and sizes, and then put their own spin to it that is just so brilliant to see. So I'm excited to hear a little bit more about that.
Thank you, Taylor. And I did want to bring it back because we have two murals, two muralists. And of course, when I think of withstand the elements, I think of an exterior mural. But Maya's beautiful piece is inside. So an interior mural is painted on panels. And I just think it's really important to talk about both pieces of artwork because they're similar and related in a lot of ways. And the purpose of Maya's piece was to bring the community of United Way together in making of the artwork. We painted it on panels and it is installed inside. So it has a lot less to do with as far as the elements, or it should. So as far as maintenance, it's just inside. So in the office space, more protected.
I love that point. And I love that the staff got to paint it and our community got to paint actual parts of the mural once you laid it out. It was cool how y'all did that.
Yes. I just wanted to bring it back there before we proceed. But yes, to Taylor's point, so we spent a lot of time. We're super excited when United Way reached out and then spent time getting to know, really wanting to understand United Way's mission, values, vision. What is this artwork doing? Why are we doing it? What is the feeling? What is the message that we're embodying, that we're sharing with the public? And then, really, what are the goals for the project? And so as far as connecting with, engaging with artists to work on the project, that process is very similar. We want to align with artists whose values, as Maya and Stat were saying, are really aligned with this project. And so it was a pretty easy fit for both the interior and the exterior pieces. We were really excited that United Way was excited about that, and that started us on the journey of discussing, kind of all meeting and learning about the vision and letting the artists bring that vision to life through their styles.
I will say I'm excited to hear more about the artists, but I will just highlight 3 big goals. As Alex is talking about the interior and exterior, we wanted to use our space that United Way of King County has to reflect our brand and our mission that I was talking about. That's the second goal. And third, the summer, the timing that is going up and so much activity. The Pioneer Square Art Walk happens around here. A block down, the downtown art walk happens. So it would be perfect for the exterior mural for folks to see. The interior mural is facing windows, and you can see, and it just all reflects on community.
What techniques were used to create the different pieces of art?
First, for me, I created a digital sketch, and I sent the digital sketch out to Alex and team, and they confirmed it. And from there, the digital sketch was projected onto the panels and traced. And then after that, we had like a paint day where we brought the panels in, and everyone, or a lot of people from United Way came in and painted, helped to get the artwork started in a way. And from there, I worked on it by myself, or not by myself, but with a team of people. A team of people with community, really, urban artworks. And that was the process, I would say.
Great.
Yeah, for me, it was a lot of collaboration, heavy collaboration. I came with a pitch deck first, and I was like, this is a cool idea, whatever. And then, you bring, people come in and they give you feedback. You got to be able to take feedback and iterate. And I think what we were able to deliver was something that everyone felt seen. There's a piece of someone inside the mural. So if people are driving past or walking by, or just take time to stand and look at the mural, they can actually take individual pieces out of it. And the beautiful thing about public art is you can put out something in the world and it means something to you, right? Like the messaging and the storytelling that someone else gets from it is the beauty of why art exists out in the public. So,
well, that's a great segue to the next question. How does this creation speak to you, and how do you think it's going to speak to others?
Yeah, no, just thinking about the people that the United Way serves, right? Just going back to the other part that I just mentioned is people seeing themselves in that, and just looking at the millions of dollars that United Way of King County is pouring back into the community, the thousands of people that they're helping throughout all their initiatives. I think that is what we wanted to reflect in this mural, and I think that's what we poured out for sure.
Good.
I think my work speaks to hope, and the hope that United Way brings as well. I think that it speaks to community and to togetherness and being there for people in general.
Great.
Yeah.
I will say, both to Stat and Maya's points, the work is about community. I wanted to reflect the mission, vision, and values of United Way, to bring the artists together in a way that inspires you and to offer the community a way to see themselves and each other. And I think the murals speak to hope, resilience, joy, togetherness, really the sense of celebration, a feeling of, just a vision for the future. So, with public art, it's interesting, I think, specific to public art, of course, and other avenues of art as well, but it's so driven by many stakeholders. It's driven by narrative, by research, by vision, by place, offering a sense of place, offering the community something really more than just art. It's a sense of belonging, and this art it does all that.
Yeah, amazing. Since you're vocal, I actually wonder how you would describe what you created for the for the listener, since there's not a visual element. Is that fair to say?
Mm-hmm.
My piece is basically in the background, there is mandala. And it is very colorful, like a lot of my work is. And in the middle of the mandala is a sun, which for me represents like hope. And then in the foreground, you have, I would say, I think it's like 5 people who represent people from different races and ages and just as much diversity as I could possibly get into this one piece. But yeah, that's my description of the mural.
My description of my mural is like different people from different communities jumped for joy, right? And had some excitement on their face and just knowing that their life has been impacted. So it's a great collaborative piece that we were able to come up with together. So can't wait for people to see it.
Awesome. How does this mural reflect United Way's mission?
I think our mission is to work side by side with communities to create a more equitable future. Mm-hmm. And in short, it's United Way is the way. United is the way we create the future. United is the way we rise. We are here together to work to solve problems and for everyone to thrive. And when I see the murals, or even when we gave the assignment, it could really be anything. Are you thinking about books, our food, how we help people with hunger? Are you thinking about the actual people we serve? Are there ages? Are people coming together? And I think it's just remarkable that both artists fell into the people we serve and the diversity of the people we serve, and how the people themselves are empowered to then change their lives, are given the resources, are connected to over 150 local partners that we work with across Seattle. So I see all of that in both creations, and I think they're wonderful.
Great. And how was this process similar or different from other work that you've done?
I think that for me, one of the biggest ways that it was different was it was super based in community, very centered around community. And sometimes there were different people working on the piece as well and just painting it. And I think that like being able to also hear and ask for different people's opinions about the piece and if they felt like it was going in the right direction or not, being able to like do that is something that really differs from a lot of my other work, because a lot of my other work is rooted in just like me pouring my soul out onto the canvas. So I would say that's probably the biggest, difference.
Okay.
For me, a lot of work is created by committee, like whether it's my group chat or my friends or whatever. But, this group chat, I had United Way and I had Urban Artworks in it at the same time. So like everybody bringing like a different element of here's what I see, here's what I think or whatever, and just using my hands to like put it together and come up with something like super unique. So this process was like kind of similar, but very different at the same time. So with all the stakeholders involved. So that's pretty cool.
Thank you, Steph. Well, I'll offer Urban Artworks is a Seattle-based nonprofit. We celebrated our 30th anniversary last year, so we've been around for a while. Mm-hmm. And our mission is to engage youth, artists, and communities in the creation of public art that inspires connections and honors their voices. And we do this through public art, youth mentorship, and community building. And I offer that because we work on a variety of projects, murals, interior, exterior, different types of different approaches, applications, sizes, environments. And this was a really unique project because if you know United Way, it's downtown on 2nd Avenue and it's on a hill. So, and the exterior wall the access to that wall is tricky. It doesn't necessarily seem that way. However, it is for a number of reasons, because you wouldn't think the sidewalk is hollow. And it's tall, right? So you can't just place heavy equipment on the sidewalk. There's a bus lane, so you can't easily place equipment in the bus lane. There's not a place to situate installation for the exterior mural. And so in navigating some of the trying to balance the goals and what was important about the project, which was engaging community, through the making of the artwork, engaging United Way, and having the artwork potentially be able to be removed. So not necessarily painting it on the building, how do we do that? And so we explored a variety of different approaches, and that a lot of that had to do with ultimately why we landed on the vinyl versus like panels, which structurally, could be dangerous or very hard to install with the kind of equipment. Like ultimately we had to work with a repelling team to install the work. So, the interior piece is a bit more straightforward since there's a lovely lobby with ample wall space and studs that we can drill right into. And a great spot to host a community event. But those were just some things that shaped the process for sure. We're really so grateful for opportunities to partner with United Way, organizations like United Way who have mission aligned and do mission aligned work. It's really special to us.
Perfect. But I want to know if each of you could just give a bio of yourself. Just talk a little bit about you, sort of what led you to the point where you are now.
Well, I'm from Connecticut. I've been in Seattle almost a decade. It'll be a decade next February 2027. And so I kind of always been into visual arts. I was always an artist, and I studied visual art, visual communication in school. And I really wish like public art and community building were on my radar at the time, because I didn't, was very much focused on typography and illustration and layout. And those have all been very useful tools. I also graduated in I graduated in 2010, right after the kind of the recession of 2009. And I felt, frankly, insecure and just like confused about how to proceed. So I had a brief stint in finance, very brief. and then I found a role at Gensler Architects where I connected. And so I worked as a design coordinator in a studio with them and actually learned quite a bit. It was very helpful to have an insight into that process through like elevations and floor plans and programming and how to thinking about space in a different way. And then I actually moved to Seattle for a role in commercial art consulting. So I didn't even know that was a job. Like, it was so cool. So kind of overseeing projects for bigger commercial projects, multifamily, hospitality, businesses, healthcare. Yeah, anything like kind of apartments, hotels, restaurants you can think of. And that was really, really fun. And that led me into work with Urban Artworks, which I think just really like aligns more with my sense of purpose and love of our community. And I have to say it was, when I started working at Urban Artworks, like something in me came alive again, like the artist in me came alive again. I felt safe. I felt inspired. I felt like I was connecting with artist community. And it was like this, like, where has this been? Like, how did I not, it wasn't, I was just like kind of activated this other part of me that was like asleep. I'm not sure. And it was really invigorating. And so I'm forever grateful to Urban Artworks for that. But it's really expanded my world. Like I've gotten to connect with so many amazing artists and do amazing work. And I feel more creatively alive myself. But anyway, so that's where I'm now. I make art and I and oversee projects with Urban Artworks, and it's very fulfilling.
I'll speak a little bit to what brought me to United Way of King County. And it's twofold. I mean, it begins at the beginning of time, if you think about it, as a focus on equity and diversity as a young Black woman and opportunities, and the pathway to education. I'm actually from a town that has a population of 308 people. For real, it's called Noxapater, Mississippi. It didn't even make it on the map. You can hear the country come back when I pronounced the title a little bit. But it didn't even make it on the map until almost 2000s. So the opportunities were limited there. There's one school for everybody, and whatever you get is what you get, whether that is the environment of the South in America, right? But so we went from just one education room to eventually moved to Missouri, and they had a desegregation program. These are programs that are run by organizations like United Way of King County that are made to give people opportunities that are farthest away from opportunity, right? So then I was bussed out to a better school district, what have you. And that came with some good and bad as well, until I made my way to a magnet school program, which was, like I say, it's for the gifted. But the best way to say it is if we didn't have these, it was A, B, C, and you're out if you couldn't hang. So that really got you into this responsibility mindset and this growth. And opportunities led me to study in London, and all focused around marketing and giving back and community. And that's what brought me here today. So I love being a part of those opportunities that people need. And I love that every day is focused on diversity and equity.
I think honestly, everything really just like kind of took off for me in college. I had won an art contest and was London, New York. And then after that, I was hired by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to create artwork for them. And then after that, at the same time, kind of, it was like things were happening back to back to back at one point. After that, I was a Idiot Cornish finalist. And then this is like during COVID though. So like, it was really like under the scenes that all of this was happening and no one really knew about it. But like, I was an Idiot Cornish finalist in 2020 to 2021, I believe. And then I got hired to work for the Museum of Pop Culture twice. And then there were just a lot of different things that happened. Oh my gosh. And then I won another contest, and it was through the Kennedy Center, and I was flown to Washington, D.C., and I had artwork on display at the Kennedy Center. But yeah, I think that after all of that happened, I did some work for Urban Artworks, and then Urban Artworks reached out to me again with this project. And yeah, that's kind of how I ended up here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think I might have seen a piece of your earlier work for the Gates Center, like the little tote bag with like a pink.
Yeah.
I love that bag. I was just looking for it this weekend. I was like, I need to pack my lunch. Where's my favorite bag? I love that piece.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, so for me, grew up in Montgomery, Alabama. Family was Air Force family or whatever, and then my grandfather, who my artist name is named after, he marched behind Martin Luther King, so my family was like super deep rooted in civil rights.
Okay.
But yeah, so did the traditional path, wanted to play football, ended up going to the University of Alabama. I majored in management information systems, so tech. Got a job out in Texas, and then I found a job out here in like 2018, and it was so different. Like moving from the South up to the Pacific Northwest, I felt like a lot of people cared about social issues, right? So like when the pandemic happened, it was like, oh dang, I have all this time to myself, I have all this time to reflect, and I was stuck in the house. I was like feeling a certain way, so I started posting like on Instagram like more often, like just with my free time. And a lot of pieces picked up, a lot of pieces went viral. And I found like a new side of myself. I was able to express myself freely, and kind of like how Alex said, feel safe, right? And I think Taylor kind of knows about this. Coming from the South and up here, it's a stark change, right? Just a community that needs more resources to a community that figures out a way to get the resources out to the people that need it the most. So I think that's the way I got here. But, figuring out how to evolve as an artist, how to balance my day job with doing things that I love, I think that's what keeps me coming back to the art piece, and Urban Artworks always involving me in some of the initiatives that they have, and being able to partner with organizations like United Way of King County and expanding their mission with just access to education, like, we needed in Montgomery, financial piece as well, and then, food for sure, which people need, and then housing for sure. So okay, that's huge.
Great. Thank you so much for your time today on Hourglass. Really appreciate all of you.
No, thanks for having us.
Thank you. Such a pleasure. This is
Wonderful
so cool.
You can check out Teddy Stat Phillips' work on his Instagram account at instagram.com/stattheartist. For Maya Milton's work, check out her website, 21entities.com. And to learn more about Urban Artworks, log on to urbanartworks.org. To celebrate the return of the annual Summer Meals program, families and individuals are invited to the free Summer Meals celebration on Friday, July 17th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Highland Park Playground, located at 1100 Southwest Cloverdale Street in Seattle. The event will include free food, a bouncy house, and other kid-friendly activities. There will be free summer meal sites in King County open through the end of August. For more information, log on to freesummermeals.org. If you're a company interested in volunteering and team building, consider United Way's Community Care Kit opportunities. Community Care Kit offerings are packages loaded with essential items for King County residents based on needs identified by neighborhood-based organizations. Assembling and distributing those kits is part of a volunteer project known as Kit Builds, and we've hosted kit builds for companies and organizations in our area for more than a year. Among the organizations that have taken part in kit builds are Amazon, the Gates Foundation, PACCAR, and Microsoft. And ArenaNet and Finvari have kit builds slated for July. For information on how you can sponsor a community care kit offering opportunity, log on to uwkc.org, click on Get Involved, click on Volunteer, and under Group Volunteering, click on Learn More. At United Way of King County, we are working side by side with communities to build an equitable future for everyone. Hourglass United Way is a podcast that highlights how we and our partners spend time making a difference in our communities. Our work is made possible by generous donations from people like you. Please send all comments and suggestions about our podcast to hourglass@uwkc.org. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn via @UnitedWayKC. And to learn more about our work or to support United Way, log on to uwkc.org. I'm your host, Joe Burris. Thanks for listening. Until next time.